Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Rule your day with the #1 brand in prepaid. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Mr. Ice in his vein. Bomb go top. He gets the damage in. He can't miss it. It's accuracy. Here we go. 1 versus 3.
He's like, no worries, bro. I got this.
And Mac with the snap. Come in and dominate the respawn.
Hello, welcome back to the Paris Home Series event. Maven here alongside Merc and Nameless as we take a look at the bracket and where we stand. A Mutineers Empire rematch already going to be going down in round 2 of their group play. But I now want to get right into our next match. Subliners versus OpTic. I want to talk a bit about Subliners. One of the big things with this team, they have that long-standing duo, one of the long-standing duos, if not the longest-standing duo currently in Zoom and Attach. And just kind of talk to me about them, Joe, how they performed this year, maybe how you think they can improve.
Well, I think you look at these two as, you know, there's been so much attention on Mac, but you see the Zuma side, especially in Search and Destroy, if he can get a little bit better, we know that a lot of the times he's going to be the entry man. He's going to have the most engagements on the team. If he's able to convert that into some more gunfight wins for him, maybe that's the change they need in Search and Destroy. But we know with these two, if they play at a high level, if they get to a Sunday, they can win a home series.
Yeah, we know Zuma, when he gets kind of good in that particular title, he's usually one of the best players in the world. So maybe he's starting to reach those levels, and this is like what, all year long, and they obviously started horribly, so that's a part of the reason for those stats. But now let's talk game fuel keys to victory for the Subliners. Nameless, can you take me through those, bud?
Yeah, Mac attack for me. He should be able to annoy Slasher. He's so aggressive, and you know, we're talking about how Zuma and Attach, like, they need to get back to that form to win championships, but you know, they've gotten a lot better since they've added Mac to the team. So as long as Mac continues to play at that aggressive pace, Zuma and Attach can keep doing their thing, man. Like at the last tournament, I think Zuma had a 1.05 with the most engagements right next to Mac on his squad. So I think if you play around Mac, dude, he's great for the squad.
It's funny you mentioned that, because one of the things from Call of Duty World War II that stood out a lot to me was a Luminosity FaZe matchup in which Zuma and Attach were in Octane's forehead. Like, he could not get comfortable. He could not get to his spots. They were so aggressive. So I like that key to victory. We'll see if they can do that to Slasher here. But now for OpTic Gaming, Nameless, what do you think there?
Yeah, so when OpTic have been losing these respawns lately, one person is just basically getting destroyed. Like, individually, it has to be Chino and TJ. Both of those are the players that are prone to having the bad map. They need to be consistent, right? Like, they don't have to drop bombs. They just need to be consistent and not cost their team the game. So, more consistency out of the players individually to make the game easier.
Well, Joe, talk to me a little bit about Dashy, because he, last year, pretty much was statistically phenomenal at just about every single event, right? Even when his team struggled, he was great. Last tournament for them was one of the few times we've seen him kind of put up a dud. Do you expect him to rebound with a vengeance?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, at the Seattle home series when they lost in that game 5, I think he tweeted out, like, not my best event. I'm gonna get to work, right? And I'm just excited to see how much work he has put in, because if he has a good weekend, there is very much a shot where they win that home series. So we'll see what Dashy's doing. He's on an angle right now, but at least we can see him.
Yeah, it looks like something out of like Inception or something. I don't know what's going on there, but Nameless, thank you for joining us, bud. Joe, let's get into this cast. I don't know, man. This is going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. Both of these guys, last time we saw them at a tournament, they both dropped in their semifinal, right? Like, they both got the furthest they've been. They both fall a little bit short. Is this maybe where we see them make a deeper run?
I think it's just to show consistency, right? They've both been on the upward trend. They've both been competitive with some of our better teams in the league, and can they keep that going? And then when do they hit the level of potentially winning one of these things? That's really the question. As it feels like for New York, one weekend, you know, a lot of people talk about their respawn, but they really gotta, you know, get that search and destroy on point. Where for OpTic, it's just, it feels like you are like one performance away with the way Slasher has been playing from winning.
And now we kind of were talking over the U.S. Air Force maps and modes. We were talking about Dashy, but when you and I were looking at him, this is a map that's very good for OpTic. I think it was map 5 was good for Subliners, but like the other 3 were just kind of okay for both.
Kind of weird. Yeah, they're kind of weird. When we get there, we'll talk about them. But yeah, overall 4-3 for New York, 5-2 for OpTic, and one player that absolutely stands out, I know we talked about it a lot, is Cheeto climbing the ladder. He's just getting in the hill, going up against his old duo. Cheeto, he's going to come out on top of that MP5, but it has been Slasher. He's just been so good, and I remember him just putting up an insane streak the last time we watched him on this map.
Well, Chino continues trying to push forward, gets shots into both players. Then Slasher's nade. He gets them just weakened up. The Slasher Simtex actually kills both. Mac, though, with the bunny hop down low, will put Chino to rest. Slasher now with a multi-kill times 4. Makes the big plays. They play for spawns to the next. They have a 1-point advantage, but in comes the swarm. Dashy stuns, nades, through it all. Somehow stays up. Knife out. Almost gets the swap to take out accuracy as well, but Slasher is there for the trade, and we'll see how much time OpTic can put between them and the Subliners here.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for, was that trophy to go down. You saw the smoke as New York continues to do it, just to smoke off that front door and get some pressure. But Chino, looks like he was able to get some pressure out towards the front as he finds 2 kills. Dashy's already working middle of the map, but a nice start overall by OpTic Gaming LA. And Dashy's in a prime position here. Maybe to get behind, but he doesn't see Mac on the bulldozer, so Mac will take him down. Now, we flip the script. It's New York's turn as we're going to set up for Barbershop to really hold this hill.
We've got a nice layer across mid-map. OpTic will look to deal with that first so they can get pressure on the point. There's the kills. They're able to pick up all of them now. Everybody else basically coming off spawn for Subliners, so OpTic will go for the ruins hit. Zuma gonna have his work cut out for him. How many can he take down with them? The answer is 0. He's gonna get smoked. Accuracy now in the back line, lying in wait.
Spawning out.
And there's the spawn out. 3 and 5. And Timp and Zuma both gonna spawn out. OpTic Gaming have bursted on through.
Yeah, I mean, we typically don't see that, where just how quickly you don't even get those Ghost Barbershop spawns through that push through ruin. Slasher with the MP5 is able to find another one. He's on a 7 spree. It just feels like he understands this map so well, where he needs to be, up to 13-2. He's gonna get this scrap time. Another big game so far out of Slasher.
Let's stick with Slasher. We gotta see how far he can push this thing. 8 now. Can he get it to double digits? 40-point advantage now for OpTic. Solid job on that hard point.
I need some ammo.
Yeah, you'd like to see the M4 in his hand, but he just doesn't have the options of trying to bring the fight a little bit closer range. He does take down 1 more to bring the streak to 9. Slasher still up, and we'll get right back over to him after showing the next hard point. Just playing his life mid-map. There's one behind him, though. Surely he's dead. It's attached that's able to take him down. The streak ends at 9, but behind that streak, they've got a healthy lead, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, though. Construction has just become a money hill. The way that teams are holding that middle of the map setup, just keeping them spawn at Barbershop. This is the first contest we're going to see, and this is 40 seconds in. Usually this was one of the more contested hills with all the different angles and, you know, all the places you had to clear. But as the game has developed, yeah, that one has been a lot of fun to watch. And then you heard Nameless talk about it, right? Someone having a dud on the side of OpTic Gaming. While Slasher's going off, you still need more out of TJ. 5-13 overall. On the other side, it's a pretty balanced effort from New York.
Yeah, we know TJ. A lot of times the entry, not easy to do, but for so long, he's been one of the better players in the world at doing it. We'll see if he can pick it up over the course of this map, but that 40-point advantage gone. Is now in ruins. Is accuracy, lead change there. Subliners go in front. Accuracy a little inaccurate as he can't quite hit the shots onto Dashy. TJ turns and burns as that's a double for him, and OpTic regain control of the hard point.
That was big from TJ as he finds his 3rd kill, because he's able to get out towards the front and get past that half wall, and that's what's so important at times. Is this ruin sale become pretty contested, even from the front with that half wall position. But with TJ getting out of front, they're able to find those last 30 seconds. They're able to maintain that lead, and we're headed back to bridge.
Yeah, as soon as we talk about the lead change, OpTic push it out again. Mac tucked away, and Kenny just gets melted. Attaches POV on the other side is short-lived as he's dropped. Chino trying to go huge for the OpTic Gaming side. but everyone else around him drops. It's all going to be on Chino, and Chino gets it done. Literally, all of his teammates just die around him, and he picks up the scrap. 5 in a row for Chino. More players pushing him. Finally, he's going to fall, but what an individual moment it was from Chino to at least keep them in the fight here at the hard point.
And that's another interesting thing that, you know, you and I have talked a little bit about, but people forget, like, Chino was out of the game for a while, right? And they were still improving. And the fact is, every single day that he's able to practice with these guys and play this competition, he's going to get more comfortable. He's going to get better. And, you know, if he can play at this level right around here, it seems to be scary.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's been a champ multiple times. We know he's able to win. We know he's able to perform, but yeah, I can't imagine how difficult it is, because it's like, yes, he's been sitting and waiting, but we've also seen players, and it's different because they were playing in the amateur side of stuff, whereas Chino didn't really have that option. But we've seen so many players just kind of plug and play and dominate. But Chino's situation is different. Maybe he's getting a little bit more of a flow now, as the lead approaching 60 now for OpTic.
And they're getting all the kills they need. As it's Slasher on another spree. Surprise, locking down this sandbag area. I thought accuracy found the entries. Some beautiful M4 shots from him when we were on his point of view, but his teammates got taken down. 5 gonna be dead. Looks like TJ trying to work across the map. He has dead silence popped. Tatch just trying to stay alive, waiting for help, and he does get that help. But I mean, they just flipped the spawns at bridge. They're able to hold on to it. They turn electronic into another, you know, 40 points, 40, 50
yeah,
points.
They've blown it open. Nearing a 100-point advantage now as Dashi hits the mid steps to Cafe, just hunting for more. Mac tucked away in that outlook post right next to him. Nice shots from Dashi. He's getting better and better, you would think, or would be getting better and better in this SMG role. A little bit of a different role for him, even if it, in a way, plays like the Maddox, I guess, a little bit more of a range limitation, but each event, each scrim, you got to think with his talent, he gets more comfortable.
You would imagine. There's just a lot of pieces to this OpTic Gaming team. That's what makes them just so dangerous. See if Dashi could step it up this weekend. You know, he wasn't too happy with his performance at Seattle. Back to Barbershop, New York, trying to claw their way back in. But you see that position. You see Slasher in this ladder room, and all he's doing right now is making sure that New York cannot cross mid-map. And while he's going to have some help from accuracy, who ends up taking him down, but Mac was trying to climb the ladder. He gets naded.
Subliners are not out of this yet. They can do it, but they need a quick break here. You talked about this being a money hill. Can they burst through and steal the cash? They've got to get in, and they've got to get in quickly. As 25 points now away from victory are OpTic Gaming. Zuma looking to be the point man. They've got to go, and they've got to go now. He's just waiting on his teammates, but they need to get in. They desperately have to stop any of this time accrual for OpTic Gaming. They've contested for now, at least gotten the player out of the hard point. At least I thought for a second, but they're not actually going to get through. The hold is there, and it's Kenny that goes big. 2 are going to drop, and despite the 5 spree from Attached, only 9 more points now needed for OpTic. Subliners have done enough for now to survive, or have they? There's still one more guy there. It's Zuma, but they're holding him at the door. OpTic might win it here.
There's gonna be one more push through the back door at 2:49. Temp and Mac, they get in, and yeah, you saved it. But hey, look at the mini-map. Slasher, he's set up, and you take a look at the scoreboard. I mean, we didn't notice it, but accuracy, 34 kills from that man. We talked about the ARs, talked about Slasher, Assault, another one that comes to mind. A big game from accuracy, but it doesn't matter. OpTic Gaming, they win a lot of those rotations. They hold the hills, especially electronic. That really comes to mind twice, and that's the difference.
At the end there, that's what I was saying. Like, they got to go. Like, I felt like they were, you know, waiting to group up. Obviously, you want a good team push, but by the time you hit that 230 or so mark, then it's over, right? Because all they have to do is rotate and set up. If they got that early break, I mean, maybe you give yourself a chance to do something wild, but it just took too long to get in. They simply got too many points there. But let's look at the stats now. You talked about the bomb drop by accuracy for the L. On the other side of things, who really gets it going? Slasher had an incredible map. He ends up 27 in 15. TJ,
Gino right there.
TJ still struggled around double negative, but you get a big victory. And yeah, like you said, there's multiple people right there with him. It's not just the Slasher show.
Yeah, no, I just think there's one play out of Ruins, out of the first rotation out of Ruins, when they were able to fight back through, when TJ picks up 3, that opens things up where they can try to flip spawns at Bridge, and they were able to do that. So they flip spawns at Bridge. Chino goes massive, picks up 4 kills. He's getting time there. They can then rotate towards Electronic, and 2 times, Electronic shot for the second hill was very clean. There wasn't a lot of contest out in New York. They probably won that one 80 to 90 to, I don't know, 5 or 10, and look at the scoreboard. That's the difference maker.
It really was. It really was. But now, Joe, I want to take a second to take a look at the quick scope presented by U.S. Air Force. And this is important because you saw what at the end of the last series, they kind of showed that graphic showing where people are going to slot in position-wise. And OpTic, can they somehow get to the top 4 in these last couple events? I mean, maybe it's possible points-wise, but more than likely they're going to be sitting in that 4th or 8th spot. Or sorry, 5th or 8th spot, somewhere in there. But New York probably the biggest chance, and you got to think maybe they can jump what?
Paris?
Probably Paris. Minnesota, even though they're struggling, they still have 120 points on the board due to that stretch of semifinals they made. But Paris doesn't look good. Subliners have looked to improve. If they can get themselves in a spot where they're not starting the losers bracket, how huge it would be. And this weekend it's absolutely massive for them. And I think this first series is just ginormous.
Yeah, I mean, what you have 5th Minnesota at 120, London's at 80. Like maybe there's a chance for them to catch London. But the thing is that London, OpTic, and New York are all getting better, right? So it feels like they're going to continue to get points. One thing New York has to be worried about is a team like Gorillas. With the way they were able to play last weekend, they have to continue to put up, 10 to 20 points each home series.
That's true, because it doesn't seem like, the other squads there, if you say like an Ultra, it doesn't look like they're going to make some crazy run. I mean, maybe, we don't know. Maybe Kleenex.
An Ultra's at 40.
Yeah.
Like, even if they have a few big, you're asking for a lot here.
And maybe Kleenex is the difference there. But I think with the way Gorillas worked in their search game, that's probably the biggest threat. So you need to get points as often as you can, and you've got a chance here. It's tough because you have Empire, FaZe, Mutineers, OpTics look strong. It's not going to be easy. So they both made the semifinal last event. What was it? Subliners lost to Huntsman and OpTic lost to London.
Yeah, London in a game 5, and I think it was 3-1. But you look at the groups, it's not like, OpTic had a 3-0 over Minnesota, which now we're like, okay, how big of a win is that? At the time, I think it was a pretty solid.
I remember thinking it was.
For New York. Yeah, for New York, you 3-1 over Seattle, 3-1 over Gorillas, and that was the old Gorillas roster. Could be a different story. So
those wins don't mean much.
They had weaker groups. Yeah, definitely weaker groups. This is a much tougher home series for both of these teams.
That's true. So as much as we're talking about both these teams improving, maybe there's beating teams they should beat. The real test might be to come. But into our club we go. Joe, when we were looking at this, Subliners haven't played it a ton. OpTic's played it a lot. I think they're 6-5. They've played it 11 times this map. And even though the win rate isn't incredible, tons of experience.
A lot of experience. They're very, what's the word? Unique on offense. They like to switch it up. They're the team that smokes out like the front of B, gets in through the second floor. But as you said, with a lot of repetitions comes a lot of VOD for New York to watch. But bomb being planted here in round 1. Nobody has drawn first blood. Accuracy is trying to work the middle of the map from New York, and you have a very strong trench setup. Well, I thought you did for OpTic Gaming is TJ. He's trying to get aggressive with dead silence, but he gets taken down.
Well, can they protect Dashy so he can hit some snipes is the question.
Oh, there's a person behind him, so.
Can they protect him? Not going to be able to do it. Slasher was going to have his head on a swivel to do it, and he can't. Well, that's what I meant more like, can Slasher somehow pick up everything, right? Like, can he watch the flank? Can he watch the push and keep Dashy alive to maybe hit a last-second snipe? But the swarm comes in from Subliners. It starts with the first blood from the Simtex from Mac, and then like dominoes, OpTic fall is the breach and clear from Subliners. Get it done. There's the defuse.
Yeah, that's just all using your utility. With all 5 men alive, you don't throw any nades. Even with the bomb going down, for the most part, there's probably one on bomb. There's probably one in broken, 1 or 2 trench side. And you just knew, you use 2 nades. You try to find that first blood. And that opens up just so many different lanes for them. Then you use a stun, a smoke to really, just try to switch things up, catch OpTic off guard, and they do just that.
Well, nice round 1 win. 2 big kills from Zuma. Simtex hits, but Zuma is aggressive, and Dashy sniping the back is going to get caught. As dead silence from Zuma to make the push happen. He's still got about half of it left in the tank. We'll see if he can catch anybody else out, but numbers early to Subliners.
And this is a similar round where the bomb might go down, and what can OpTic find with their nades? Maybe to even this up. Accuracy is watching the flank, so it's a 4v4 on the site. A Mac with a big kill. Slasher is going to re-challenge and peek, but Mac, Zuma, the duo, they deal with that.
All into TJ now is a 1v4, now 1v3. That's ambitious. Yeah, I had to get the reload, tried to hit the shots with the pistol. Not going to be able to do it. 2-0 Subliners. Look good on offense, look good on defense. So far, so good.
And we'll just have to watch what adjustments OpTic makes. But you get the bomb down last offense. It's just how can you play that 5 versus 5 better? Like that's always the goal. But we know that they like to go towards this B site. Smoke out middle of the map. We'll see if they go to that.
Off the break, it looks like it's going to be another A push for now. And maybe they're thinking they've seen us like to hit B a lot. Let's keep them honest towards A for now. And look, it's a 3-stack of B for Subliners. Yep. So they might have been thinking exactly what you were. Max Grenade lands in a sea of players, but yep.
They're gonna
I thought the Simdex were going to hit, but they all crossed through mid. Accuracy, though, ready and waiting. Unfortunately for them, there are 3 players here from Subliners. Slasher holding all the way to the other side was going to fall as well. Dashing out by himself, 1v5. Nothing working for OpTic. The counter seemingly always there for Subliners. 3-0, and it's a quick, uncompetitive round.
Yeah, they thought they were going to go towards this site, and what does that mean? You have accuracy mid-steps, who's just watching middle, you come out of broken, and you saw... I'm not sure whose point of view we were on at A, but, you know, you saw 2 smokes go down. That's a lot of utility out for OpTic, and then they're in the middle of the map. You had Mac watching middle alley, and they just, yeah, right into their trap. Maybe not the way New York saw it happen, but it happened.
5-0 now from Zuma. Mac right there with him at 4-1. Accuracy's got 4 on the board as well. You've only got 5 total kills for OpTic Gaming. They've legit just been getting smoked out of these rounds. Can they win a defense? Maybe get some life here. It's another first blood for Subliners. Dashy gonna get caught again. Over 2 rounds ago, same position. Yeah, caught by Zuma with dead silence. This time, caught again by Zuma. TJ brings it even for a moment.
TJ trying to do what he can on the site, but Zuma's still in there. Maybe that starts the push for OpTic. Kenny was able to take down Zuma, but you still have Mac alive. And look at the map. The other 2 were just working the other site, so Chino's left alone on the bomb.
What a huge 1v3 this could be for Chino.
I mean,
to get them their first round of the board, but the peak a little too wide. And Attach gets the angle. 4-0 now for Subliners. Chino, though, he almost had it.
It just gives off more cover than it actually is, the way it feels like from your point of view. And I feel like we've seen that 1v1 so many times this year, Attach in the superior position.
We really have seen that so many times.
So many times, yeah.
Hell, just for OpTic. We've seen them have so many. Well, they got a lot more kills at least, OpTic. They had 5 before that
it's
round.
really the first blood. So, and that was the second in a row where it would Dashy wide peek and he gets taken down. But this time he's on first blood of his own. Maybe this is the start of something for OpTic Gaming.
That's their first blood, right? Because Zuma had 2, Mac had 1 with the Simtex. I can't remember the 4th. Tension builds as OpTic work their way towards this site. Smoke out, trophy out, time to go as Chino works towards to get this bomb down. The plant will be in. Now the utility will start to come in from Subliners. Dashy still holding deep with the snipe. Bravo's Simtex, TJ's Simtex, the utility on point this round for OpTic.
Yeah, and you have Slasher watching Sniper's back, so he's got him this time. But it looks like finally they are going to win an offense. They had to make some adjustments, though. The way that temp and accuracy are locking down middle of the map, I think just sort of, you know, they were prepped for OpTic Gaming. So I think OpTic realized, all right, they're going to have to towards that B site. They're going to have one watch in middle alley. We have to go away. We have to just try to get this bomb down and execute until we can get them to take one off A. Right, and back our, you know, or sorry, take one off.
Yeah, there's going to be adjustments because I can't remember if we mentioned this in the lead up, but this is the first time these two teams have played. And that's going to happen a lot in round one because it's meant to mimic league matches with the round one matchups at these home series events. So you're trying to get these teams to, you know, play each other once, even the numbers don't work out perfectly. But Zuma again with Deddy, just go.
Just doesn't care.
In through the Gulch, just picking them apart. There's the third. Chino's gonna drop.
He's got
sensational stuff from Zuma. And this looks like it's gonna be a 5th round for them unless TJ and Dashy can pull it out.
I don't know if he's getting like a spawn, right, where sometimes you're a little bit further ahead and catching them off guard or what, but he is flying. He's zooming. And that's 2 rounds in a row where they've just been caught off by that silence push. Temp's still on the bomb. TJ, Dashy have had some incredible search and destroy moments in their careers, but Temp finds one. Dashy with the sniper. We've seen, you know, what, 3 times.
This reminds me of the old FaZe teams.
It's just not working.
When Zuma's getting first bloods, you're usually winning search, and he now has 3. I mean, just avoid that side of the map entirely at this point. Just go ahead. You have it. He's just getting freebies. And it's like, it's not even he's getting a kill and there's a trade. All 3 first bloods he's gotten there, he's been able to stay alive. Well, you know, more often than not, well, maybe not more often than not, but a first blood is a lot of times traded out almost instantly. Like, he's just getting these clean ones.
All right. So there's the adjustment. You do have 3 on A. Temp's not helping accuracy in B. So if OpTic Gaming would go to sort of like their default, it's looking like they could do so.
Slasher's working all the way about here. It's accuracy and Temp are in a one-on-one on the other side of the map, but we're gonna hop over towards A. They're moving up. They're keeping them at B. So number 1 and 2 on the minimap attachment Macker. Kind of just on a swivel, right? Going back and forth, seeing where the help is going to be needed. Because they're not entirely sure where the bomb is going yet, but things fall apart at A. Both are going to drop. Subliners have the angle. Subliners have the number yet again. All hope lies with Kenny. 1 versus 3.
I give ups to accuracy because he has just been towards the B side. I mean, he had a great.
Does that seem like to you? Subliners just did their research. They watched, you know, there's 11 games played by OpTic on that map. Do you think they're just watching them a bit and they're able to improve on that? But we are actually going to get ready to head to a quick break before the Dom. We're tied up 1-1. Map 1, a blowout by OpTic Gaming. Map 2 ends up being a blowout by Subliners. The Dom up next. This best of 5 is our 3rd of 4 matches today. It's the home series event for Paris, and we'll be right back.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Rule your day with the #1 brand in prepaid. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
The guy that still holds the crown for greatest debut has got to be Simp.
Awakening had the best debut in history.
Oh my God, they're the top team again. Praise Lord Scumpy.
Honestly, they're winning the next event, and here's why.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Contesting the Point. I'm your host, Malik Forte, and today I am joined by Benson and Maven, fresh off the Minnesota home series. How's it going, guys?
I'm feeling good. I got a Peloton 3 days ago. I've worked out every day. I basically am an NFL caliber athlete currently.
Not sure about that one, Clay. No, it feels good, man. It feels fantastic. Honestly, I'm just excited to have the original duo of this show back at it again. I don't get to debate against Clint that much anymore.
That's right.
Because we bring everyone else in, so it's good to be back, man. I always love talking Call of Duty with Clint.
I missed you, buddy. We are back. It's tied up 1-1. Subliners, OpTic, the first time they've played all year and looking to move on within their group play. It is a big weekend for both teams as they're trying to battle up the rankings, but especially for Subliners where they're sitting. But before we get to the domination, I do want to take a look at the U.S. Army tactical play. It's going to be Zuma. Through trenches all game long, just dominant, Joe. He was finding openings everywhere. Well, by everywhere, I mean in one spot on the map over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, he just dominated this side. As you're going to see, Kenny gets caught off guard. He's got that silence. Slasher's like, what? There's someone right here. And how do you challenge this? Now is Chino's trying to look that way, but he gets gunned as well. And then this rock where Dashy, we saw him peek that four times, I think. I don't think he got a kill one time. So a big game too for New York.
No, Zuma killed him every single time he went to that spot. Like literally every time he went there trying to hit a snipe, Zuma was just in his face. And it's funny because, you know, I think he was talking more about the hard points, but Nameless for the keys to victory was talking about Tatch and Zuma maybe getting in the face, making Slasher uncomfortable. It didn't really work at the hard point, but there in the search and destroy was kind of an example of it. Don't let them get in their power spots. Don't let them get comfortable. Keep them on the back foot at all times. A great search and destroy from the Subliners. But yeah, two kind of blowout maps to start this thing off. We'll see if the map 3 will be a bit more competitive. Joe, is this the one where both teams were kind of
These next two are quite interesting. These next two are very interesting. Not okay. New York is 1-6 on Domination, Gunrunner. OpTic Gaming LA 2-3. So we typically don't see this, but just how the vetoes worked out, and yeah, I mean we'll see what happens, but both have a losing record.
Right. Yeah, you looked at that, then we looked at what is Hackney RDX. One's 2-5, one's 0-5. I was like, what?
0-5. It's a weird veto process.
Yeah. But Attach lights it up. Him and Mac able to take down 3. I mean 4 and nearly a 5th. Chino will get flanked instantaneously after that, though, as a patented Zuma flank comes on through, but it looks to be a 2-cap early. AB control for Subliners. Oh, we got him off.
Kenny got there. Yeah.
I wasn't even looking at the main map. I was just staring at the meter top middle of my screen. It was so close, but a millimeter away. And OpTic's able to get him off. They clutch up, and now it's headshots all over the place for OpTic.
And that's another play by Chino, because Chino actually got the 2 kills to stall that for long enough for Kenny to get there. We saw it a lot in game 1 where Chino was going big on the hill. It's Chino and Kenny right there at the B flag. But C was neutraled by accuracy. OpTic, they do capture B. And now what's the play call? Are we going to track back? Are we going to try to deal with this? Or are we going to push on through towards A? It looks like right now they're trying to track back because Chino's holding down minecart.
Well, you asked what the play call is, Joe. Why don't we hear it from the players themselves?
Let's do it.
Let's go to an Astro Gaming listen-in with OpTic Gaming.
LCL spawn, Brandon.
2 boxes on me. I got one.
I'll be back. You should have 4. Nice.
I'm trying to push.
We're already boxes. Here.
I'm trying to hit field.
Inbox. I got one. Oh, I got you.
Donnie.
He's back left on me.
Spawning P5. This spawning P5.
What's back left on me?
Back left, yeah. I spawn P3, then maybe spawn a C, maybe spawn a return. Spawn a return.
One
Push this guy P5.
Got one guy in C, yeah, one guy in C, Lamar.
Another guy here. I got
P1
Fork Lamar, there's 2 C.
Rabbit
in P5. Rabbit in 2C.
Trying to help you,
I spawn P3. I'm gonna play.
I
think he's back right, guys. Okay, green up Tommy. He's still there.
Hey, green up. One's probably gonna be mid-map on a C.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold you.
Green and Mars Rock. Lamar's Rock, one's in green.
Trying to hit the guy Rock.
I agree green, push out, I want to shut up.
Rock's still there, Lamar.
Mid-wall, Tommy's dead.
Lamar dead on
Top roof, done.
He's dead. Yeah, I'm hopping.
Okay, green up, I think.
Might be green, it might be right on me.
Yeah,
green
up.
I'm not telling, he went by front green.
I'm
gonna work right here.
Basically a tie game for now. V control with OpTic, but there's 3 players swarming it from Subliners. Dashy might need to make a play. He tries to slide cancel across the cart, but gets caught in that process. So going to be a 2-cap for Subliners at a moment with 2 minutes to go. Anybody's game to take this first half.
Yeah, you'll take this though if you're OpTic Gaming. You know, spawning that C flag. You know, the less preferred side. You'll take a 2-point lead with 2 minutes. We'll see. It looks like they're going to go towards this C side. But Attach is locking it down. Attach is able to get 3 in a row. Dashy's going to be the last one here for OpTic. The rest of his teammates are locking down B. You see them spawning all the way back warehouse. Can Dashy make the play? At least gets the neutral for now.
I mean, it's a big play from Attach to get those first 2 or 3, because you got to think about it. That's like a, 20-30 seconds where you're not going to get any pressure towards B. Just delaying it, or hell towards C as everyone's waiting to come off respawn. So great play from Attach to kind of solo hold that as long as he did. Nice shots from Temp with the bunny hop to pick him off the back of the truck. Now Mac through the smoke trying to be a tear to this OpTic Gaming lineup. If they can hold this 2-cap for this final 60 seconds, what looked like a tie game will be a 20 or so point advantage for Subliners, but even then, I think you still feel okay if you're OpTic.
Yeah, and they're getting pressure on B right now. Slasher just trying to find Zuma. He just sees him. Dashy's on B. Has the help of Chino. Slasher, he gets taken care of. Zuma still on a heater, but the B flag capture does come in.
So not only is Chino frustrated because Slasher should have had that cut and Zuma got through, but then Slasher chases the kill and then gets drop shotted by Zuma. So Zuma continuing to probably piss off the OpTic Gaming side as the plays continue to be made.
know what? You get the 2-cap even with the Zuma play. Leads down to 8. You know, B cut down to 6, and they'll be spawning up A up next. So I think it's a solid half for OpTic. You know, despite, well, they get a 3-cap. That actually got the tick. So they're only down 3 points.
You basically have everybody.
Oh, no, it's a draw. They got a second tick. Okay.
Okay. It's a 74-74 game. You spawn poor side if you're OpTic. Basically, everybody goes negative on OpTic. Even it's just, you know, it's a kill, 2 kills here and there. It's not like there was a big slaying advantage, but that's a great scoreline for you. Now, everything we're saying could not matter at all if Subliners flip early. But at least right now, heading into the second half, looks good for OpTic.
No, I did not see that second tick hit, but that was a big last 30 seconds there. We'll see. What did New York do off the break? It looks like you're going to have Zuma. Might be working the flank. Surprise. It looks like he's just trying to make sure that they secure C. Then he's going to wrap on over the skirmish at B. Temp and Mac able to get some kills. A nice start as Chino. He gets done capping their home flag. He's like, all right, all my teammates are dead.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing New York has done good both sides is that opening break. They dominated both times. They get the early 2-cap. How long can they hold on? And when do they maybe try to work the flip? And now comes OpTic. That's going to be 4 down for Subliners. Last player, I believe, was the one defending the home flag. So that'll be AB. Now a chance for OpTic to put him in the vice.
Yeah, it's just how did New York get out of this? Some of the better gunrunner domination teams we just see hold AB so well. Looks like they're trying to pinch through pipes. There's one player left. That was Chino. Was able to find one. Now has the help of TJ, but accuracy. Whoa. Just got smacked in the face by Chino's trophy.
I was legitimately going to say, how did he just die? Because no one was there.
Trophy does damage.
And the trophy just smoked him.
Yeah, the trophy has always done damage. I have like no idea why, but it has.
It looked like he got hit by a bomb.
Yep. Oh, man. That is tough.
Attached with the multi-kill yet again. B secured for Subliners, as this seems to be one that will go down to the wire. 96-96. Zuma's able to clear out this vent room and nearly snap back to get Dashy inside a green.
Again, just looking at the scoreboard, like you're getting a big game out of TJ, which is fantastic, but you would think New York would be way further in the lead as OpTic's getting aggressive. Macdo's locking down B. Did he stall it long enough? Looks like there's 2 players on B from OpTic. He did have some pressure at C, but that was taken care of. Chino goes big again as he finds 3. That's another moment for Chino to have a big moment.
Yeah, you got to gas TJ when he's playing well. The map won, what was he, 13 and 27? I know he had a lot of assists to go with it, but we've spoken a lot about his struggles this year. Hoping to see him find that peak form we know he can reach, but still a tie game. Advantage to OpTic, though, is they have the 2-cap, and Chino still doing a wondrous job around this B cap. Oh, as soon as I say it, Mac puts them both in the blender. Mac is still here, though, as Dashy's going to have multiple players to take on, and not going to make it to the second because Mac is able to do it. Mac there with 3. Mac makes the play. This B cap is just going back and forth. I think it's changing hands every 20-30 seconds.
Yeah, OpTic even putting pressure on C. You have 2 players over there. Temp, Zuma, they're able to lock it down. That's going to be 4 dead. The last player up is Slasher. Temp says hello. Temp up to 21 and 15. 90 seconds left in our game. Be a 3-point lead for New York. How does OpTic want to try to get out of this? That's the question. Can they get out of it?
I mean, they're getting killed in their base right now. This has been sublime from Subliners. I think Dashy worked all the way behind C, but they're going to make a play. They've got to do it quickly. They're down 7 with just over a minute to go. Slasher is still on that C flag. The neutral should be here.
He spawned up there. Did he get the neutral? I don't know if he got the neutral. It's close. No, he didn't get it. He didn't get the neutral, but it opened things up at the B side. At A, there's a New York member. There's just fights all the way around. but it's an 8-point lead. OpTic, they have to hold on to 2 flags. And it looks like Slasher's going to be on C. You could have 2 in a neutral here for OpTic Gaming.
The last 30 seconds were a circus. What in the world is
Spawns
going
are just
on
everywhere right now? I see just whole team spawning C. Now TJ, he goes big as Mac and Temp try to get A. And Kenny immediately flies to B because he knows that's where New York is going.
TJ with a big 2 kills the home flag. 144, 144, 25 seconds to go. This battle at B could be everything. Subliners have got to get in. There's a team kill from Slasher onto TJ. They've got the numbers here. They've got the neutral. They've got the capture. Now, can they hold it? The final couple ticks are going to come through. They'll be able to take it here. OpTic have got to get in and try to take it down, but 4 kills now through 4 Subliners. They've got the game. There's 1 player on it trying to contest. He's going to get caught. He's going to get dropped. Subliners will take it with the final tick, 154, 152. The entire story was just flip, flip, flippity flip all over B. And then that sequence, that 30-40 second stretch where I couldn't have told you what was going on. It was just madness all over the map. Wow, that was unbelievable. But I'd love to take a look at the last 20-30 seconds and just see who really went big for Subliners. Oh, honestly, what it seemed like what really went big was the smoke grenade, because then all 3 of them just kind of hopped it and stacked it quick to get it. Man, what a dom it was.
Well, New York just had pipes control, and when you have pipes control, you have nobody from OpTic really pushed up into B, right? Because they had to deal with their A flag because Temp and Mac were there, and they do that. But you'll see, because you have nobody in pipes, you have nobody pushed up the B flag. As soon as they get there, that's all it takes. It takes 1 smoke. And now Slasher, and it looks like Kenny in front of him. They have to try to fly through this, but it's a 3-stack.
Yeah, that's why I was literally saying the MVP was the smoke, because if that's not there, you had 2 players from OpTic that maybe they get the kills, right? Like, it's not guaranteed, but maybe Slasher beams 2 and Chino picks up the other, but the smoke is out. They had no choice to just try and run through it. By the time they get through, it's already been capped. Both OpTic players end up dying, and I think you see some frustrated faces on the side of OpTic Gaming Los Angeles, as that's a tough one to swallow. It got stolen away from you in the final moments, and what a game from Temp. He puts up 29, but I feel like every member had their moments where they picked up those big multi-kills, or Attach held onto the home flag by himself. Like, everybody stepped up when they needed to, and especially in the final minute.
Yeah, I mean, overall for OpTic, you lose by 2, but you were outslayed by, looks like 22 kills or so. So slaying advantage was absolutely to New York. It just felt like a lot of the slaying came in for New York in times to break. Like, it was 4 or 5 dead, right? Where OpTic Gaming, they lose B. And that's what I was saying. A lot of gunrunner teams that we see, the reason they play this map is because when you're so good at holding that A-B hold, it could just be so difficult to break from that C side. But New York, they did it time and time again.
All right, well, I'm going to talk about Warzone weekend. I think we've got another one coming up. We've had 2 now so far. We had the 12 CDL teams represented. Now I believe it's going to be a little bit different. This is going to be the solo edition. That's going to be kicking off before the matches begin on Sunday. And this one is one I think we've been really excited for, Joe, because as campy as like the first one was, like, this can be too, but I just feel like there's going to be a lot more kills on the map, a lot more crazy moments to highlight. Like, the reason that the Gulag is so fun is because it's a one-on-one with these pro players. You're going to get a lot of one-on-ones and solos. So I don't know what to expect, but I think it should be a great time.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where, like, you know, when there's 10 to 12 teams, everybody sort of has a place where they can go early on, especially in the game. Maybe you're fighting one to, you know, you have one early fight. But for the most part, everybody's sort of on their own island. In solos, no matter where you go, there's more than likely going to be multiple people there. And yeah, I think the Gulag is just so fun. So it should be a really fun event this Sunday.
Yeah, looking forward to that. So you have the home series event this weekend. You got some Warzone action to watch with the CDL players. A lot going on, and we hope you guys have been enjoying the content. But now we'll see if OpTic can get this to a map 5. And this is the one where it was what? It was 0-5 for OpTic, 2-5 for New York. So not a great map for either team.
No, not at all. And neither was that Gunrunner Dom like we were talking about. But yeah, definitely we'll see if OpTic Gaming, and well, this was obviously their choice, because 0-5 and you're spawning on the bad side.
Do you think it's one of those things where
they've made some improvements?
Yeah, maybe in scrims they've been playing a little bit better.
Yeah, maybe you don't want to play New York on a specific map. It's TJ. His great game 3 continues here in game 4 with a nice start.
And I think on a map like this, he's going to need to be great with the way Mac, Attach, Zuma have been so far in this series. Pressure definitely on TJ, Kenny, Dashy to get it done with those MP5s in hand. TJ can't quite win the challenge. He was weakened up before that. The Coalition spawns will be there for Subliners, so they've got that right side of the map, and they're also dominating this first point. This is kind of worst case scenario for OpTic.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. This could be 50 off the start, is they can just not break in. It's a double from temp. It's a double from accuracy. Dashy's taking down his teammate, keeping Mac alive. Mac's on 6 in a row, and they're setting up for tire shop, and they haven't been map control.
50-5. Subliners going off early. They've got spawns for next. Let's get right into an Astro Gaming listen with Subliners.
I have your woods.
Tires. One more.
Kenny dead.
I'm camping tires.
Still top green.
Watching
Top green
dead.
for me. I'm looking top green.
Look at
top
top
green.
dead.
TJ, one shot. Nice. TJ's are low tires.
Okay.
Go,
I'm
TJ,
not
nice.
tires.
Top AC. Top AC to mid. Dead. And no one top AC.
In the smoke, dead.
And they did the smoke. Watch out.
He's one shot dead.
Nice. I'm looking right. One stack.
He's in AC or door.
Push out.
Door. Alright, we're good.
One shot laying down.
Yeah, my ability too.
One's top L, I think. Yeah, top L. And one middle step.
Top
TJ.
green, shooting.
TJ back. Mid crate, top green. Mid crate, top green.
Call me out.
Good start, guys.
I'm challenging top.
One top brick. Top green. Top green.
Dead.
Top Tom.
Top green.
I'm gonna smoke out the four cross.
No ammo.
Top green.
Top green, one shot.
Low, guys. Low.
Need a top
Top green still?
One was low.
He's a trophy. I flashed low
No,
red.
they're gonna be top here. One top ladder. Top ladder. Top green.
On the wall. He's on the wall.
Okay, top ladder. Top green. Top ladder.
Still on the wall.
One shot. I have no ammo.
On the wall. You went to
He was
MP1. To one shot, Chino. He's bottom two weak.
I got him.
Nice.
You want Kenny?
How does my pick look for OpTic to win this tournament, Joe?
Well, not great right now. They still, even if they lose this, they're still alive. And well,
I don't feel good about it.
At Seattle, they also lost their first match and then got to a semifinal. So
That's true.
And well, this map's not over. This is a pretty solid smokestack hold. I mean, they were down 90, and they will bring it back to 50. So it's not over yet, and it feels like they're starting to streak a little bit.
Let's see if they can start to warm up, get something going. They've got to extend this series to the final S&D. Smokestack done as everyone now getting into office. Zuma patrolling bottom as we'll hop out and you can kind of see through Codcaster where everybody is positioned. Bottom locked down right now by Subliners. Mac can't finish it. I thought he was going to get punished. The movement almost on point, but Slasher will finally get the kill. One team kill through for Subliners in the midst of that as well, though, but so far a great hold from Subliners. OpTic just want to keep those spawns and disrupt what they can, but number 4 in accuracy has moved up kind of towards this backside yellow building, and they're worried about him. They don't want him to work any kind of flip.
He's got a trophy on himself. Dashiell able to take care of him, and I thought maybe they'd work their way back into it at office, but as you said, New York were able to lock that down. Already up to 150 points. That is after 3 hills, Clint. They are 100 points away from winning the game.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, it's just that tire shop hill, man. It really is. It is just something.
A perfect hold here gets them right back in that 50 range. And then can they somehow flip it and maybe chain to tire shop? It feels like that's where it's going to happen. But a close one does come in for Subliners. They break through. 5 kills in the kill feed for them. The 2 players inside the point for OpTic are going to have to go nuts. TJ and Kenny. Well, Kenny actually gets 1 team kill there, but the 2 players that were left inside did get enough kills to at least hold on to it for that remaining time. Dashy then sneaking through all the way to the other side. Might have the flip if he can win this gunfight, but Timp is going to hunt him down. That might have been a big spot, because now you see where the spawn comes in for Subliners. That number 2 spawns in tire shop. That's exactly what they want.
And it's like, if you're OpTic, as much as you want to fight for these spawns, you can't give up another 50 points on this first hill. It looks like behind Chino and Kenny might be able to get some pressure on this first hill. It's just accuracy on it. They're able to take him down. Now, can they hold it?
Oh, Slasher, I think he thought he killed the last guy over there, and then all 4 players pop. So everyone's still on that right side for Subliners.
It's big, though. I mean,
they're making sure they don't get any time, right? That's all they can really do. TJ will die after a 4
down by
spray.
10 if they hold it.
But the lead about to grow right back up with Tire Shop. Unless, I mean, we've seen, what was it? Mutineers broke through FaZe twice on Tire Shop. Like, it's possible, but it relies on a blunder from the team holding more than anything.
Yeah, you're just hoping to contest 20 seconds or so. But 4 go down, 5 go down at probably the worst time when you want to try to get some pressure early on in the hill, because you see the position at temp. Look at where he's at. He's top L. You had Zuma top office. So some really strong positions. Just cutting off the reinforcements. Dashy tries to get in through that smoke. Attach is ready for him. Attach is ready for TJ. You can't even get past that brick wall right now.
I mean, there was like 3 straight deaths where they were all caught sprinting. They're just trying to fly and somehow get in, but you've got pre-aim Subliners players just waiting and holding. It's going to be, what, 100-0 on that particular hardpoint.
I'm going to be honest with you, Clint. I never thought I would say this, but about an objective in the game, but I hate this hill. I really do. It is just, it stinks.
Yeah,
Man.
Joe, it is horrible. But a couple seconds left, and Subliners looking to close this out. But I mean, everybody's dealing with it. Comes down to the vetoes, but also the coin flip part of it makes that tough as well. But we'll see if OpTic can mount a wild comeback. They did really well at Smokestack last time, and this is where you can kind of counter that hold at Tire Shop, and the player inside the hardpoint will get dropped. Right back into it they go. Number 8's going to be Slasher, who's trying to maybe make a play in and around office early. Dashy there to help him, and they're able to do it. That's 3 they're going to drop. One more player there from Subliners. But a nice smokestack hold. Early position, thanks to Slasher, Kenny, Dashy inside of office.
Okay.
And they're still alive in this.
The office has to be better, because first rotation it was not. Slasher in a position, able to get 1, but Mac is still in there. You're gonna have a big 1 versus 1, and Mac wins it again. Mac's big. Yeah, it's just his office. He owns it.
Yeah, he dominated it last time, right? Like, bottom was all Mac. I think he survived like the entire thing basically until maybe he was team killed, if I remember correctly.
19.
Mac is a phenom and very comfortable on this map. OpTic have to get in. I know they have spawns for next, but so much time left on this hard point. They've got to contest this somehow, but they're getting cut down off spawn as they try to rally across. All 5 players now up. This might be the final push. They're trying to do it. Not going to happen. Look at the kill feed. All Subliners all day. Subliners will close out this map 250 to 193 and move on to the winner's side of their group play. OpTic not able to take this, come out flat. Well, I mean, actually, they come out strong map 1. They win map 1, yeah. But... And then you have the crazy map 3, but 2 and 4 not able to do it. Great stuff from Subliners, and kind of piggybacking right off of that semifinal finish they had with their last tournament.
Yeah, and it's just tough because some of the maps that, like, you know, especially respawn-wise, that OpTic have been able to win, it's... Slasher can have a very big impact, right? And it's just hard to do so on a map like Hackney. Like, we see ARs put up great numbers, but a lot of the pressure is in office, inside Tire Shop, comes down to your subs, and you look at these stats, like, you can't have Dashy 13-7. You can't have Chino -9. You can't have Kenny, you know, -7 overall, like, combined. Like, something needs to switch. Like, we've seen a lot of teams, maybe, especially Florida, running 2 ARs. Maybe, especially with these 60 hertz servers, maybe you do that with Dashy on a map like this.
just going back to that game field key victory from Nameless. You can't have somebody with a dud as frequently for OpTic. What is it? 13 and 27 from TJ Map 1. I know they get the win, but then 13 and 27 here from Dashy. Yeah, they can't get that well-rounded effort. And Dashy, I know we stressed kind of the poor event he had last time. I'm worried if he's still in that same form, they might be in trouble this weekend. I know it's just a handful of maps, but just think about last year. I know it's a different title, but Dashy is one of the more unreal talents in the game. We did not see many bad respawns out of him at all last year. Like you probably count them on one hand how many double negative games he had in respawn. So I don't know. I know he switched to a sub. There's a lot to it, but still, Dashy can't be going 13 and 27. I don't know what else to say. He can't be.
Yeah, I mean, if game 3 goes a little bit differently, but even in game 3, like, how do you lose AB all the time? Like, you can't go 4 to 5 down, right? Over and over and over. And what does that come down to? Just a lot of individual gunfights, 1v1s that are turning into 2 pieces, and that can happen. But
I think you saw why they didn't play that Gunrunner map for Dom all that often, either team, and neither team had saw much success. I think that's what you saw there. Their team, maybe their best domination, because there were some sloppy moments for sure. We're gonna take a look now at the scuff play of the game. It is Mac. As Mac drops a bomb, he has had so many phenomenal maps since his debut, and here was another one. OpTic Gaming just had no answer for him.
They didn't. I mean, he took over, and you felt his presence, especially on Gunrunner as well, just really start to kick up. And yeah, there's nothing else to say, especially around that office hill. You know, that 4th hill, he took over. But don't be surprised if you see this matchup later on tomorrow night to get into the semis, because New York, they're going to play the winner of Atlanta and Ultra. And while New York and Atlanta have gone the distance, you favor Atlanta, and maybe we do see a rematch, but we'll see what happens. Still a lot of good matches to come. OpTic, they still have a shot.
Joe, I got a question for you.
Yep.
You had to choose between one of 2 options. You have to choose between A spider crawling on your face for 5 seconds, or B, having to try and break tire shop over and over again for 2 hours. What do you choose?
Spider, 100%. There's no way. Like, there's just...
It's tough. It is tough. But let's take a look at if the season ended today, where everybody sits. And we're talking CDL points, how it would seed into champs. We showed this a bit earlier in the broadcast as well. This is where it would sit. The first thing I said to Joe, we were chatting on Discord, said to him, I think Subliners and Legion flipping is about the biggest thing I think will happen. When you think about the groups, that's one that probably stands out.
Yeah.
I don't know how much else it can shake up, and we could be way off base. There could be a lot that'll go on, but that seems to be the most logical thing that might happen.
Yeah, I mean, you would think so with the way that London and OpTic are trending, but heck, I mean, OpTic, if they have 2 bad home series in a row, maybe a team like Gorillas could slip up, right? You're only at 70 points if you're OpTic. I mean, London's only at 80, so you think Minnesota's safe, but besides that, it's going to be scary.
Oh, well, and just think about it. They probably already swapped, right? Subliners just got 10 points. Legion lost. So, all right. But it's attached with interview coming up next. He'll be sitting down with Rich after this break.